record. Chanting. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Mahesh. Why there is so much importance for a guru, madam? Because you are doing a lot of bhakti. Yeah. Okay. Spiritual margala, you have to go. That's why it is important. Okay, very good. So, how many gurus we have in our life? That is Upaguru, like sub commentary. But gurus is first comes our parents, then teachers, then the when we say Mother Earth, like our mother is also Guru Earth, where we are given the Janma, the place is also one type of Guru only. Then the person who gives us job, sustains us, like Vishnu, is also our Guru. His father I am talking, not only Guru, fatherly figure. And then most importantly, when the individual teacher who makes a U-turn in our life, a complete U-turn. Have you known that whenever you go to a river, wherever there is, like in the nearest place, am I hearing my voice? Okay, the nearest place is Sangameshwara. Bhavani. If you go any such place, that is a special place because the river takes a U-turn and again goes back. What does it mean is that the river is like our representation, like our life. We were going following one path, but there one place teacher tells us this is right or wrong path, and then you shift accordingly and come back to the normal path, right path. That is also a guru. So generally five gurus are there every time with each one of us. The fifth guru is so important for me, Hegde sir, for all of us, Swami Paramatma, because of his teaching. We can't imagine such a simplest format of scripture. If you read only mantra, you will never ever understand what is the meaning of the mantra. So many controversial issues also are very simplified. So one such topic is Karma Yoga. Absolutely difficult to understand, but if we read through the Tattva book, so easily we can understand. So let us start with that today. Nitya, before we start.
Okay.
Yes.
Hari Om. So in this class, we are going to discuss about Karma Yoga. We have discussed in detail about Karma Yoga in chapter 3. We will have a revision of chapter 3 when we end this. So in the last class, we saw about Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma. Can someone explain about Varna Dharma, like what all we saw in the last class? According to birth.
Varna Dharma.
Yes. The person can be as a Kshatriya, Vishya. Yes. And what is Ashrama Dharma? Hello, Marina. Like what do we saw about, what did we see about Ashrama Dharma?
Again 4.
No, it's okay.
Again 4.
Yeah. 4 stages apply. Correct.
One. No, they can't hear.
Brahmacharya, Grahastham, Vanaprastham, Sanyasam.
Okay. So basically, these are the infrastructure presented by our scripture for pursuit of human goals. And our scriptures are clearly mentioned that none of the grade is superior or inferior. So only by character one can become superior or inferior. So this is what we saw regarding to Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma in last year. So this is Varnashrama Dharma. So now next, what is Karma Yoga? Now we have seen the infrastructure to attain the human goals. Karma Yoga is the course of discipline presented by scripture to accomplish the human goals. What are those human goals? We are telling human goals. So what are the human goals that we saw? So this is what we saw in the beginning during the introduction to Vedanta. So to practice Karma Yoga, what do we need? We need a sadhana. It is the course of discipline that we undertake to accomplish a goal. And what is the goal called? These are certain terminologies that we need to understand. So sadhyam is the goal. What is our ultimate goal? Moksha. Moksha is our ultimate goal. Next comes sadhaka. What is a sadhaka? Who is a sadhaka? Us. When we take to the course of discipline to accomplish the goal. So we try to follow certain path to accomplish the 4 human goals. We are called as sadhakas. And then once we accomplish the goal, we become siddhas. So sadhaka to siddha, that's our ultimate aim. So we are sadhakas. We try to practice some sadhana to attain sadhyam, which is the human goal, 4 human goals, and the ultimate goal is the moksha. And once we attain the sadhyam, we will become siddha. So what is sadhana? Sadhana is the means to attain the goal. So there are 3 levels of sadhana, which is karma yoga, upasana yoga, and jnana yoga. So these 3 sadhanas are like steps in a ladder. So we will have to climb each stage one by one. You cannot skip one and go to the next stage. You will tend to fall. So we will have to be patient and you have to cross through each and every step carefully. So sadhaka, the seeker, I should, to reach the goal, the sadhyam, what is to be taught, the goal to be taught, have to perform some yoga. I have to I have to unite everything and perform yoga to reach my goal, which is moksha. So yeah, karma yoga we have seen during our chapter 3 itself. It is proper attitude with proper action. The proper attitude is bhavana and karma is proper action. Now, karma yoga can be split into 2. Karma, yoga. So karma, what is karma? Karma means any action. Any action can be classified based on spiritual influence into 3 types. So this is not based on materialistic influence, only based on spiritual influence. Any action can be classified into 3 types. One is uttama karmani, madhyama karmani, adhama karmani. So first we will see about uttama karmani. Yeah. So this is more like a sattvic action, uttama karmani. Sattvic, it has other names like sattvika karmani, hara upakara karmani, nishkama karmani. So what is this uttama karmani means? இப்ப நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொன்னாலும் உத்தமம் அப்படின்னா என்னது மிகச்சிறந்த அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸோ அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு ஆக்ஷன் டன் ஃபார் அதர் வெல்பீயிங் ஆர் டு ஹெல்ப் அதர்ஸ், மற்றவங்களை மட்டுமே மனசுல வச்சு நம்ம பண்ற நல்ல காரியங்கள் எல்லாமே அதான் வந்து உத்தம கர்மம். பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் மேக்ஸிமம் நம்பர் ஆஃப் ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ், மேக்ஸிமம் நம்பர் ஆஃப் பீயிங்ஸ், ஹியூமன்னு கிடையாது, யாருக்கு வேணாலும். அண்ட் இதுல மெயின் என்னன்னா கிவ் மோர் அண்ட் டேக் லெஸ். நிறைய தானம் பத்தி நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கிறத முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் எல்லாத்துக்கும் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு யோசிக்கிற அந்த ஆட்டிடியூட். This contributes to maximum spiritual growth. Paropakara karmas are presented by scriptures as Pancha Mahayajna. So இது வந்து பண்ணும்போது நம்ம வந்து பஞ்ச மகாயஜ்னா ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்றாங்க. எதுக்கான contribute to the welfare of the world. So we will see in detail about Pancha Mahayajna in the coming slide. And by practicing uttama karma, we will attain spiritual elevation. நம்ம வந்து மேல ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் லெவல்ல மேல போகும். நெக்ஸ்ட். So பஞ்ச மகாயஜ்ஞா like 5 yajnas that one should practice every single day. Yeah. So, Nagaraj,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
just sort of asking you, we have seen this Panch Maha Yajna before, right? Can you remember any of them?
But on the 5 yajna, both the yajna, karmani, like that, ma'am. I'm not
Good.
remember all those things, but something I remember, ma'am.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
அதாவது சாமி கும்பிடுறது, அடுத்தது உங்களோட கோபாதஸ் கும்பிடுறது, அடுத்தது வேதாந்த ரிஷி அவங்க கும்பிடுறது, அடுத்தது பார்ட் ஆல் லிவிங்.
Yes, ma'am. ஞாபகம் வந்துச்சு, ma'am. ஞாபகம் வந்துச்சு.
Atithi or Atithi?
Ma'am?
Human.
Manusha.
Atithi.
நமக்கு வர கெஸ்ட் போல.
Yes.
So this Panchamahatmya includes everything.
Yes.
So if you see, when God knew that in the modern world, very difficult to practice a lot of things, so He gave Panchamahatmya to do Karma Yoga. If anyone practices this Panchamahatmya every day, automatically it is Karma Yoga. Now you tell.
Okay, yeah. So we have 5 yajnas: Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Manusha Yajna, Bhuta Yajna. So you'll see in detail once again regarding all of the 5. Deva Yajna. Ma'am சொன்ன மாதிரி first கடவுளை கும்பிடுறது, worship of God. போய் stand in front of the Lord and utter prayer. லோகா சமஸ்த சுக்கினோ பவந்தோ. இப்போ கடவுளுக்கு முன்னாடி போய் நின்று, கடவுளே நான் நல்லா இருக்கணும், என் வீட்டுல இருக்கவங்க நல்லா இருக்கணும், இதை மட்டும் வேண்டது கிடையாது தேவ யஜ்ஞா. ஸோ என்னை சுத்தி இருக்கிற இந்த உலகத்துல இருக்க எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு வேண்டதுதான் தேவ யஜ்ஞா. ஸோ அதை நம்ம மைண்ட்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் படும். மே ஆல் பீயிங்ஸ் எவ்ரிவேர் பி ஹாப்பி அண்ட் ஃப்ரீ, and may the thoughts, words and actions of my own life contribute in some way into that happiness and to that freedom for all. அப்படின்றதுதான். அதுக்கப்புறம் இதுக்கு நமக்கு தேவை என்ன? Just few minutes of our time, few words and a silent prayer. That's all.
Sincere heart.
ஆமா, கண்டிப்பா. And a sincere heart.
The story of one of the child, you remember? It's in Kannada. The name I forgot. The child, every day the father is a priest, he gives food. One day he had to go somewhere and he could not offer the food. So he told the child, today I cannot go. Please see that the God has got the food. Child goes, she is very innocent, maybe in the first standard. He goes and offers the food. The food is there only, is not eaten. She started crying. She weeps and says, Kanna, you have to eat. If you don't eat, my father will feel bad that I have not come. So sincere heart. Then God comes, eats the food. Father comes and sees food is not there. He says, you have only eaten. No, Papa. Krishna came and ate. He doesn't believe. Every day I am giving, he is not eating. So then he sees that small food is there here. The rice is in the mouth. See, the sincere heart, the meaning of sincere heart, sincere face is this. Just like Kanna. Kannapan is cruel, but this is a sincere, pure heart. You know, nothing she wants that to eat. I think this is Guruvayur. Okay.
அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்மளால முடிஞ்சா we should offer something to God. So we மாதவ சேவா. ஸோ சுவாமிஜி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா, நிறைய பேர் ஈவன் நம்ம மாணவ சேவை, மக்களுக்கு சேவை பண்றதே போதும், எதுக்காக கடவுளுக்கு போய் இல்லாத ஒரு கடவுளுக்கு போய் கொடுக்கும், இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் நிறைய பேர் பேசுறாங்க. பட் அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. நம்மளால முடிஞ்ச விஷயத்த கடவுளுக்கு பண்ணும்போது அது இன்டைரக்டா கண்டிப்பா எங்கேயோ ஒரு மனுஷங்களுக்கு, மக்களுக்கு தான் போய் அது சேரப்போகுது. பிகாஸ் காட் இஸ் த ஒன் ஹூ கேவ் எவ்ரிதிங். நம்ம கொடுக்கறதுனால ஒன்றும் காட் ரிச் ஆவோ இல்லை புவராவோ ஆக போறது கிடையாது. It's just our mindset and mind to give all the time. So how is this helping us? Helps us to become God conscious in all daily activities and arouse a sense of togetherness since family members worship together and participate in rituals. So this is about Deva Yajna. Next is Pitru Yajna. So இது வந்து worship of ancestors. நம்மளோட மூதாதையர்களை வணங்குறது, குலதெய்வம் அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து தெய்வம்.
Actually, the original scripture every day should be prayed. Now, after sometimes one masa, that also no 1 week, then one day only people pray. But ideally, it's every day, Pitru Yajna, every day after bath, when you make food, you have to keep 1 ounce out for the Pitru. Like generally they say, crow will come and eat. Every day. Then they are saying if you can't do every day, then at least you keep some rice. So that masa will come now, that time you can give it. So you see, that is how people are saying, at least keep every day little rice. If you cannot cook, can give. So every day we should. Yeah.
Express my gratitude to all my forefathers in the form of prayer. This is like a thanksgiving along with Paropakara. In Kali Yuga, ancestors, இது ஏன் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, இது வந்து நம்மளோட டைரக்ட் ஆன்சஸ்டர்ஸ், அதாவது நம்மளோட அம்மா அப்பா இல்ல தாத்தா பாட்டி அப்படி மட்டும் இல்லாம, யாருக்கெல்லாம் வந்து இப்போ ஒரு சிலருக்கு குழந்தைங்க இல்லாம இருந்திருக்கலாம், இல்ல அவங்களோட குழந்தைங்க அவங்களுக்கான அந்த கரெக்டான இதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணாம இருந்திருக்கலாம், அவங்க எல்லாத்துக்கும் சேர்த்து இன் ஜெனரல் என் வழியில இருக்க எல்லாத்துக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி யோசிச்சு நம்ம இதை பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ ancestors were not offered by anyone, no children or children who don't take care of them, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கவங்களுக்கும் நம்ம பண்ணணும். Not just to our ancestors, but to all the ancestors who don't get the Shraddha by Tarpanam. So இது என்ன நமக்கு கொடுக்குதுன்னா, helps to preserve, enrich and continues our family values. Next is Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna is worship of scripture and author of scriptures, Rishi. So I express my gratitude to all the rishis who have given Vedas and scriptures. கண்டிப்பா அவங்க இல்லைன்னா நமக்கு இந்த ஃபார்மேட்ல கிடைச்சிருக்காது. அவங்க கடவுள் கிட்ட இருந்து நேரடியா இதை கேட்டு நமக்கு, அதாவது ஃபியூச்சர் ஜெனரேஷன் எல்லாருமே வந்து அதனால பயனடையணும்ன்றதுக்காக கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ நம்ம டெய்லியுமே அவங்கள தேங்க் பண்ணணும். Rishis want preservation and propagation of their wonderful teaching. ஸோ அவ்வளோ கடுமையான தவம்லாம் இருந்து இந்த விஷயத்த கடவுள் கிட்ட இருந்து கேட்டு இதை நமக்கு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா, அவங்க என்ன எதுக்காக நமக்கு கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, அதை பாதுகாத்து அதை மக்கள் கிட்ட ஸ்ப்ரெட் பண்ணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக தான் அதை கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. ஸோ ஹவு கேன் வி டூ தட்? த்ரூ சாண்டிங், பாராயணம் அண்ட் த்ரூ டீச்சிங், அத்தியாபனம். ஸோ பாராயணம் அப்படின்னா எதுக்காக? இப்ப நிறைய மந்திரங்கள் சொல்றது, ஸ்லோகங்கள் சொல்றது, இதெல்லாம் வந்து கேட்கும் போதே நமக்கு மனசு அமைதியை கொடுக்கும். ஸோ சவுண்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்கிரிப்சர்ஸ் itself helps humanity by creating peace. பாராயணம். So it helps in purification of creation and teaching of scriptures. இது வந்து next level. First at least we should try to hear it, அதுக்கப்புறம் chant பண்றது, அதுக்கப்புறம் next level teaching. அத்தியாபனம், systematic teaching which is meant for understanding. Teaching சும்மா பேருக்காக இல்ல ஏதோ ஒண்ணு எனக்கு தெரியுதுன்றது சொல்றது கிடையாது. Systematic teaching which is meant for understanding. So what do we achieve with this? Refreshes one's mind with sacred knowledge. Next is Manusha Yajna, service to fellow people, social service like running orphanage or helping old people, serving food to the guests, இதெல்லாம். ஸோ சில பேர் அதான் மனுஷங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணா மட்டும் போதும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ Manusha Yajna alone is not sufficient, but it can and this cannot replace all the other yajnas. இது மட்டும் பண்ணா போதும் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பத்தாது, எல்லாத்தையுமே சேர்த்து பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு. So what does this help us with? It creates the spirit of sharing with others.
So
and yeah,
important point is this: people think that only puja I will do, rest I will not do, or only Manusha Yajna, like orphanage I will start, and I will not do Brahma Yajna, Pitru Yajna.
Manusha Yajna, it is like doing a Brahma.
No, sir. According to scriptures,
There's a light in my.
in the Tirupura. Okay. But what we are reading and understanding is all five have equal importance. So equally we should do. Like if I suggest only to do Manushya Yajna, like I'm a doctor, every day Manushya Yajna is happening. So I am not doing other things is not right. Only puja or only pitru, no. Everything should be done like 20%.
So what is Manushya Yajna? They are unable to do that on a daily basis.
So charity meaning money.
They are able to do it, but it's not on a daily basis. This we are encouraged to do every day, all five.
So even you speak nicely to some person without any expectation. Or listen, even to our family members, which we speak less. So even that is Manushya. Like sir is so affectionate, he wants to see madam. That is Manushya. Without expectation.
There is Islam
Hmm.
and in even in Christianity, there are some. Every day, the next day is called Nyaya-Tirthunal. Tamil is not Nyaya-Tirthunal. The body is on the map. Our Atma will go to that. The Jesus Christ will be there.
Hmm.
And you will, the Jesus Christ will ask, you have given me food. You have given me shelter. You have given me fresh clothes.
Hmm.
You have given me everything. This they will tell. That Jesus will tell them. This one is asking, I have never given you. I have never given you food. I have never given you shelter. I have given you clothes. Never given anything to you. Why you say that? The says you are given to your fourth Lord. If you give to him, it equals that you are giving to me. That's why I told you. In Islam, this will after the death, the Atma will go to Allah. Allah will ask, you are not given food to me. There, Jesus Christ says you are given to me. But Islam says, you have not given to me food. You have not given to me shelter. You have not given to me clothes. You have not given to me anything. This was, who should I give? You have given everything, why should I give? No, I am not giving myself. You have not given food to the needy fellow. You have not given clothes to the poor. Like that, it feels.
Mhm.
There is change in the
Okay.
conversation, but the things are same. You do one thing now, equals to perfect. That's what other, all the people.
Yes, because you see, to the common man, giving to the ants will be not understood. That is different devotion. Human being serving means either he will speak word, good thing, that is easily reciprocated. But going and serving someone which is not human or not seen also, like our ancestors, it is little difficult to understand. That's why people think Manushya Yajna is Manav is Madhav Seva. That's what they say. So, but if you go by scripture, we are talking about scripture.
What do you give for the God? What will you offer for God? If you put what you eat, you give.
Anything Tattvic.
Tirumala says, whenever you take food, you take one bunch
Yes.
of food.
Yes, yes.
If you don't, sir, எனக்கு கிடைக்கிறது துண்டு தான். Why should I give this much to that God? அப்படின்னா, அடுத்து என்ன சொல்றாரு? ஒரு இலை, வெளியே இருக்கிற இலையை பிடிச்சு கொடுங்க. அதே என்னால போயெல்லாம் அந்த இலையில பிடிச்சு கொடுக்காது அப்படின்னா, ஒரு நல்ல வார்த்தை சொன்னா போதும். You give good words, that is something. All of these are related. All things are related. Probably taken from
So when we talk about Manushya Pancha Yajna, it is not just elevation, spiritual elevation of your oneself. It is the entire universe. If you're talking only of Manushya to Manushya, then only humanity will go up. When you are doing Panchama Yajna, everything is cleansed. Everything is spiritually elevated. The Bhuta Yajna, the Pashu Yajna, everything, souls which are already lost, and Brahma Vidya, everything is actually universal. Yeah, you were asking.
No, there's a
Yeah. Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. Yes, there is a shloka where if you are offering to God, it may be even one leaf, one flower, one twig, one dry twig, but you offer to your that I will accept. Yeah, sorry. Next one.
The last is Bhuta Yajna. It is a service to all living beings other than human beings. Or not just living beings, all other beings also contribute to my well-being, like trees, animals, rivers, etc. So we should at least think about not destroying them. நம்ம போய் அதை வந்து ரொம்ப மேம்படுத்தலைன்னா கூட இருக்கிறது அட்லீஸ்ட் டெஸ்ட்ராய் பண்ண மாட்டோம். அதுதான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். அட்லீஸ்ட் முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கட்டிட்டு ட்ரை பண்ணுவோம். Contribute this helps us to contribute to the welfare of the environment as a whole. So yeah, this is what Panchamaha Yajna is, and we have seen about Uttama Karmani. The next one is Madhyama Karmani. So இது வந்து ஒரு mediocre அந்த மாதிரி. So it has other names like Sathama Karmani, Rajasa Karmani, Para Udasana Karmani. So this is more like Rajasic. எப்படி அது உத்தம கர்மானி வந்து சாத்விக்கும், இது வந்து ராஜசிக். ராஜசிக்னா எப்பவுமே நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம், இட் இஸ் லைக் கொஞ்சம் செல்ஃபிஷ் நேச்சர் இருக்கும், பட் ஸ்டில் அடுத்தவங்களை வந்து ஹார்ம் பண்ணாம நமக்காக மட்டும் யோசிக்கிறது. ஸோ ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் டன் ஃபார் மை வெல்பீயிங், இக்னோரிங் அதர், செல்ஃபிஷ் கர்மா, தே டு நாட் கான்ட்ரிபியூட் டு அவர் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் growth. This is like even going to temple and praying only for you and your family. If we keep doing only this kind of karma, we will be spiritually stagnated. There won't be any spiritual elevation. Next is Adama Karmani. It has other names like Nishita Karmani, Tamasa Karmani, and Para Apakara Karmani. So, this is Sattvic, Rajasic, next is Tamasic. Actions done for destroying others, prohibited actions, corrective actions. என்னோட நலனுக்காக பட் அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு என்ன ஆனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, beneficial to me but harmful to others. Do not contribute to spiritual growth but also bring down spiritual retrogression or spiritual fall. Spiritually நம்ம கீழே போறது, அதுதான் வந்து அதர்ம கர்மானி. So these are the three type of action karma. Next. So இப்போ பார்த்தோம்னா நம்மளோட லைஃப்ல இன் ஜெனரல் நம்மளோட டே டு டே ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ்ல we should be doing more of உத்தம கர்மானி. எப்பவுமே வந்து உத்தம கர்மா வந்து should be more, மத்தியம கர்மா முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் குறைச்சிக்கணும், and should try to reduce the அதர்ம கர்மா to 0. So first part கர்மா, அதுல என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது பார்த்தோம். Next part is yoga. So yoga அப்படிங்கிறது ஏன் சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா, we should do it with proper attitude. Attitude என்ன ப்ராப்பர் ஆட்டிடியூட்னா என்ன அப்படின்னா, attitude born out of proper understanding. ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம எந்த ஒரு ஆக்ஷன் பண்ணாலும் சுவாமிஜி என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, இட் பிகம்ஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் த யூனிவர்ஸ். நம்ம அந்த ஆக்ஷனை ஒன்று பண்ணி முடிச்சுட்டோம். இப்போ நமக்கு ஒரு வார்த்தை நான் பேசிட்டேன் அப்படின்னா டன், அவ்வளவுதான். நான் பேசிட்டேன், ஐ கேனாட் கெட் இட் பேக். ஸோ இட் பிகம்ஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் த யூனிவர்ஸ். அப்போ any karma is processed by God through universal laws and handed over back as phalam. So நம்ம என்ன கர்மா பண்றோமோ அது கடவுள் வந்து அது வந்து யூனிவர்ஸ், இட் பிகம்ஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் தி யூனிவர்ஸ். ஸோ அது வந்து காட் வந்து அதை எடுத்து ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணி அதுக்கான ஒரு பலனை நமக்கு திருப்பி கொடுப்பாரு. ஸோ தட் கர்ம பலம் வந்து it can be anything. So நம்ம வந்து we should do our karma without any attachment and do not expect anything in return. So every action should be done with Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. So கடவுளுக்கு நம்ம என்ன செஞ்சாலும் கடைசியா அது கடவுளுக்கு தான் சமர்ப்பணம்ன்ற மைண்ட் செட்ல தான் செய்யணும். Process karma, the phalam received back is in the form of Ishvara Prasada. While acting Ishvara Arpana Bhavana and while receiving the result Ishvara Prasada Bhavana, together called as yoga. இதுதான் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மனநிலையில ஒரு ஆக்ஷனை பண்ணி அதோட ரிசல்ட்டை நம்ம அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறது தான் யோகா அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க. அடுத்தது சமத்துவம் யோக உச்சது. அதுதான் சமத்துவம்னா வந்து ஈக்வானிமிட்டி. ஸோ எதுவா இருந்தாலும் அது ஓகே பாசிட்டிவ் மைண்ட் செட்டோட அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறது. அண்ட் தென் சித்த சுத்தி, understanding that I am the reason for my happiness or sorrow and not the external world. So இதுதான் சித்த சுத்தி. So this is what we have seen from the introduction to Vedanta. I just want to summarize like நம்ம கீதா கிளாஸ்ல கர்ம யோகா சாப்டர் 3ல படிச்சது வந்துட்டு ஒரு சம்மரி மாதிரி ரிவைஸ் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் கர்ம யோகா? கர்ம யோகா அகெயின் இது நிறைய தடவை பார்த்துட்டோம். ப்ராப்பர் ஆட்டிடியூட் வித் ப்ராப்பர் ஆக்ஷன். ஸோ இனிஷியலா கர்ம யோகா சாப்டர் எப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும்? அர்ஜுனா வந்து கிருஷ்ணர்கிட்ட கேட்பாரு, ஸோ why are you asking me to perform karma? ஞானமே இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், ஞானம் தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் எனக்கு சொல்லிட்டீங்க செகண்ட் சாப்டர் ஞான யோகால. why are you asking me to perform karma அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவாரு இந்த சாப்டரை. ஸோ கிருஷ்ணா will start by answering him why karma yoga is important அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அப்படி சொல்லும்போது கிருஷ்ணா வந்து ஏன் கர்மா பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு வந்து 4 டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆங்கிள்ஸ்ல சொல்லியிருக்காரு. இது வந்து ஒரு ஆர்டர் மாதிரி நினைச்சிட்டு பண்ணு, கமாண்ட்மெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் காட். இல்லையா கடவுளுக்கு நீ செலுத்துற கிராட்டிடியூட் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு நீ வந்து கர்மாவை பண்ணு, எக்ஸ்பிரஷன் ஆஃப் கிராட்டிடியூட். இல்லையா உன்னோட ஓன் பியூரிபிகேஷனுக்காக நினைச்சிட்டு இந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் பண்றேன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லி இந்த பியூரிபிகேஷன் சித்த சொல்லணும். இது எதுவுமே இல்லைன்னா கூட மெயின்டெனன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹார்மனி, ஒரு தர்மத்துக்காக நம்ம இந்த கர்மாவை பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு பண்ணுன்னு சொல்லி கிருஷ்ணா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவாரு அர்ஜுனா கிட்ட. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு ஞானி வந்து எப்படி ஆக்ஷன் பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவாரு, ஹவு ஹி ஷுட் பி மாடல் டு தி சொசைட்டி. அப்புறம் அவரே வந்து எப்படி ஒரு கிரகஸ்தாவா இருக்காரு, கிருஷ்ணா ஹிம்செல்ஃப் இஸ் அ கிரகஸ்தா அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி அர்ஜுனாக்கு வந்துட்டு புரிய வைக்க ட்ரை பண்ணாரு. why he should not go to sannyasa directly and he should go through grahastha and perform his karma. ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா கர்ம யோகா 5-point ப்ரோக்ராம். இது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து விவேக புத்தி, ஈஸ்வர அர்ப்பண பாவா, ஈஸ்வர பிரசாத புத்தி, நிர்மமக, சமத்வம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து நம்மளோட ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் அறிவு வந்து ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் ரிலேட்டடா வந்து நம்மளோட அதுக்கப்புறம் எந்த ஆக்ஷன் பண்ணாலும் வந்துட்டு நம்ம வந்து ஈஸ்வர கடவுளுக்கு தான் அர்ப்பணம் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறது. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதோட ரிசல்ட் என்ன அப்படின்னு ரிசல்ட் வந்து கடவுளோட பிரசாதமா எடுத்துக்கலாம் அந்த ஆக்டிவ். அப்புறம் நிர்மமக, என்ன நிலைமைக்கு போனாலும் இல்ல எந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு ஹையா போனாலும் நம்ம வந்து அந்த பேலன்ஸ்டா இருக்கணும். சமத்துவம் வந்து பேலன்ஸ்டா இருக்கணும் அப்படின்ட்டு கிருஷ்ணா வந்து சொல்லியிருப்பாரு. Since we did not have any mantras, I thought we'll chant few of the slokas in Karma Yoga.
Let him go, come, we'll chant after. Later I will continue. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So we have already actually seen Karma Yoga very well in third chapter. Third chapter we have done. All this summary was already mentioned. Agnya, Yagnya, Chitta Shodakam, Dharma. And another is Viveka Buddhi, use your intellect. Ishvara Arpana Bhava, when you do work. Ishvara Prasada Buddhi, when we get. Nirmamaha, even if we are achieving the highest, but we should not be proud about it. And Samatvam, whatever we are achieving or not achieving, we just be balanced. Now the next topic is Upasana Yoga, but because Arunati is not there, I'll just come up with few things. It is a step ladder. Now once we do Karma Yoga, next should be Upasana. Means what? Karma is done in which part? Your grahastha. When we are active, like Karma Yoga is possible. The next is Vanaprastha Ashrama. In that you should do Upasana. Now what you should do is, as we saw, Karma Yoga, you are very active. Even though you are spiritually oriented, you try to accumulate wealth, you distribute it, all that. But in Vanaprastha Ashrama, what you do is you just stop too much of intake. and you start giving what you have. Whatever small thing you have, you start giving up. Now, in the spiritual way, in this journey, what you give up, the five sense organs which are always outward, your walk, your vision. Anyway, in the ashrama, it is taken away. God is already taken away, but we have good opticians and they give us very HD quality vision. Dentists, they will give nice teeth with nice implants. And then hearing is gone, sir will put one aid inside. So basically, Upasana or Vanapasta Ashrama is making you ready for Sannyasa. That is the last part. That is called Jnana Yoga. So this comes in between and very important. So you have to stepwise you go. First, doing your karmas very well. You are going to be eligible to go to Jnanam. You are going to go to Jnanam. But before that is Upasana, which I will just tell in short that it is in three ways. Kaika, Vachika and Manasa. So at the Kaika level, activity level, stop. Withhold. Vachika level, if you are speaking too much, very active extrovert, start becoming introvert. If you are very introvert, no problem. It's good for Upasana Yoga. And finally, Manasa. Manasa means in the mind. You also are quieted in the mind. Sometimes you stop speaking to others. And like a python, you speak to yourself. Don't be that. Better to speak to others then. Otherwise, you speak to yourself and you become like a schizophrenic. That's not right. So all these three levels you have to become one. Then this all we have seen ahimsa. We don't, but this is all I don't know why she has put, but it is satyam. How the speech should be. You remember that satyam, hitam, priyam, anudvega karanam vakyam. We have done this also. Satyam, priyam, hitam, anudvega karanam vakyam. Satyam means only truth you should speak. Then people say there is a lie which we can, unavoidable lie. Is there something called as unavoidable lie? We cannot avoid telling the lie. Is it possible? Then what should we do?
So we should do
We should
that.
always நல்லா நடக்கணும்னா அவங்க பேசினா நான்
So yeah, so very nicely Swamiji says an unavoidable lie for a gross mind is the avoidable lie for a sensitive mind. It's a very difficult to understand. But for example, husband has not told anything to wife, then he will say it is unavoidable to lie to her. But he is not sensitive to the mind of wife. Later on he will suffer. But at that time if he is sensitive and he tells the truth, he might suffer there itself, but later on it will be good. So unavoidable lie is not there. We only tell it is unavoidable to say something. So anyway, the speech should be satyam, priyam, always nice to hear. People who are around you should be able to hear you. And hitam, it should be of beneficial to the person who is saying and the person who is listening. And finally, it should be anudvega karanam vakyam. No himsa. Verbal himsa is also very bad. Sometimes if you hit someone, that pain will go in some time. But verbally, if you hit someone, Mahabharata will happen. Mahabharata. You know how Mahabharata happened, no? That person told to Dhritarashtra that he is a blind person. And this son listened to it and he became angry. So this is verbal himsa. Once you say something, Mahabharata happened. Ramayana also happened like that. The Rama in the childhood, he used to say that lady with hunchback, he will say Kubdi, Kubla, Kubdi. That lady in the mind, she has always kept hurt. And when she got one chance she got in the life, he destroyed her. So Ramayana and Mahabharata can happen. So what about our words? So be careful about hurting with words. Ahimsa. Okay. Then comes after you become Shuddha, then you become relaxed. Upasana really starts. Means what? Meditation. We will take this entire chapter, 6th chapter, in which Upasana Yoga is given so well. So, once you make your these three levels uh, towards aligned to spirituality, then only you can do meditation. So, important. Different types of meditation she has explained. Coming to Jnana Yoga, I think we have time. Yeah, we'll finish. So, Jnana Yoga, what do we need? Why do we need first of all this? Why do we need this Jnanam? What is Jnanam? This understanding. What will benefit by this is we will be away from samsara. What is the samsara? The likes and dislikes, which will give us raga, dvesha, and moha. So this likes and dislikes, which we are always given to from the child till the adult in the old age. I have seen very old people also, 85 years old. He's saying, I want this type of Bangan Bharta. Suddenly that day he wants that type of Bangan Bharta. The season is not there. You will not get that. He is from North India. I have seen that 85 years old. So how are we going to be away from this? Is the freedom, and this is only through jnana, the knowledge. So samsara will be away from you. Now, what is this jnanam? It is again nothing but removing your so-called ignorance. The self-ignorance taken out by spiritual knowledge is jnana. And jnana means nothing that we are like this picture shows about universe. You go in a space or you go deep dive. No, it is knowing about your real self, not other, not the outer world. The very bigger universe. You may know, you may be the one of the scholars about different things in the world and universe. You may know the last planet there and the galaxies. That is not jnana. Jnana is knowing yourself. But how do you see it? How do you achieve it? Because childhood till now, whatever I know about myself and the world is through the five senses. Right? Can you see yourself? Yeah, so one such story is, you know Kunti Putra, Karna, and he was born through the boon of some God's son, and then he left him. He came again in the form of friend of Duryodhana. Just before the battlefield, he explained to Karna that I want to tell you that one more, I have six Pandava. I have not five, we have six Pandava. So he gets the knowledge. So you get knowledge in general word sense is first you get by hearing or by reading. Then second is the way is experience. Someone told there is a beautiful rasgulla in North India. You heard it, you saw it. But the second part of the knowledge is when you eat it, experience it. Right? Now this is about you take anything like this, not this, but any other thing you can correlate with rasgulla. Okay. So when this is correlated with anything, then what happens is it cannot be done with your self-knowledge. Jnana is about self-knowledge, which is very difficult. How can I show you yourself? Or how can you learn yourself? That happens here with Kunti Putra. When she says you are the one of the Pandavas, he is having the experience of what is Pandava. But he himself is Pandava, he cannot experience. So this is the problem of self-knowledge. All knowledge is very easy. You can get a degree in that. You can be a degree holder. So how do you get this Jnana Yoga? Yoga means any which is discipline, in a disciplined way. First is Shravanam. What is Shravanam? Under the study, under the able guidance of a guru who is Jnana Nishta. He himself is completely under the Jnana Nishta. Not like any guru. Morning he will tell something, evening he will go and drink. that guru you please avoid. So he should be anchored in it. If you wake him up in the night and say he should say about God only, or he should give a good path, that guru which will continue systematically teach you. That Shravanam means systematic, proper teaching is Shravanam. Now Swamiji says, in Shravanam, it is not important that how many books you have read or how many shlokas you have by heart. It is one single thing also important. Like if I ask you to see yourself every day in, like you get up and after you see the mirror, how many mirrors you want? One is enough. Some people will require three from this side, this side. But one mirror. Similarly, Shastra is nothing but showing you the mirror. Showing what? Showing yourself, which is very difficult through another means. Like if I want to take this water and drink, I know the knowledge and I can drink and taste. But knowing yourself requires guidance of Shastra through Guru Upadesha. One book is also enough. One mirror is enough, so one book. Maximum 2-3 mirrors. Some people will say this side I cannot see. So once we understand this, and once we know that not so much of knowledge, jargons are not required, like several Tatvamati, the whole, any knowledge, any book you take in Shastra, it is saying the same thing. Tatvamati. This Chinmudra can be entire Bhagavad Gita. Leave all your Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Guna. Leave all your awake and sleep and deep sleep state. All these three things, whichever good or bad, should be left. Then only the Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam happens. Aham Brahmatmi happens. So even one shloka, if you have understood well, interlined well, you are done for this jnana. So finally, two more things. Shravanam has happened, and only through Shravanam you will get knowledge. Just people will say, I'll sit and meditate. And they also tell one, I don't want to name the Guruji. He says, suddenly I got Vidya. One day, 18th day, I got light. Again, we see that, I don't want to name that community also. God came, he became God, again he came back. All this is just good to listen like a story. Only through Shravana, systematic, continuous study under the able guidance of a Guru who is anchored in Brahmanistha. This is a definition. I have never learned other definitions so well, but this definition I have learned. So with this Shravanam only you can achieve Jnanam. This is, you please, in today's class, you understand this. Mananam is, once you understand it, you sit and focus on it in whatever way. But it has to be done all alone. Shravanam can be with many people. When you do Mananam with a lot of people, it is chit-chatting. Don't do that. So Mananam is a separate vibhaga. It is a separate part of Jnana Yoga. Shravanam, Mananam. But if people think Mananam will give me Jnanam, no. It is systematic study first, then thinking over it. Just like a cow, when she eats, after that she does, what is it? She brings it back, cuddling. Cuddling, what do you say? Then she chews on it. So this Guru can help you in this. He can digest the thing and give you. So it is very easy to assimilate. So after that, finally, Nididya, after you totally understand, focus, and then you do satsanga, prayer, and all the prayers are aligned to God only. That means you're always in the dharmic way, spiritual way. Whenever you meet, whenever you discuss about God, godly things, that is Nididya. Means you're bringing the academic part to theory. Like Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj, even whatever work he was doing, even his child came, he is not bothered. Mirabai. So much difficulty she went from the childhood to the adulthood. After marriage, she was thrown out. Everything happened, but she was always aligned to God. Shabri. So in any saints you take, they have understood, they have assimilated, and they are performing it. So academic and theory, theory and practical, both together. Okay? Some people are very good in theory marks, but practical they fail. So Nididya Enthusiasm is practical and we should not fail it. So once these three things come together, this is Jnana or Jnana Yoga. Yoga means discipline, where any discipline will have few things. So that is what will it happen? Freedom. Freedom from all that struggle which is happening in your life. Liberation. You will be liberated higher level and you will be completely free from all the samsara sorrows. That is called moksha also. Now, lastly, this is what? It is all your self-effort. That picture it shows is sculpting himself. So, what is the tool here? It is a hammer and tong. But for us, the tool is nothing but Shravanam, Mananam, Nidityas. So if you understood this, the Jnanam is definitely in the call. Okay? Hari Om. We'll continue, we'll finish this and then continue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Dachyate Purnamya Purnamaya Purnameva Om Om Shanti Shanti